Good morning. This is the Paradise Unicorn Priestess bringing you day 280 of A Course in Miracles, the in translation where we use female words. This would be October 7th if you're starting at the new year. The shift in perception. Healing must occur in exact proportion to which the valuelessness of sickness is recognized. One need but say, "There is no gain at all to me in this," and she is healed. But to say this, one first must recognize certain facts. First, it is obvious the decisions are of the mind, not of the body. If sickness is but a faulty problem-solving approach, it is a decision. And if it is a decision, it is the mind and not the body that makes it. The resistance to recognizing this is enormous because the existence of the world as you perceive it depends on the body being the decision maker. Terms like instincts, reflexes, and the like represent attempts to endow the body with non-mental motivators. Actually, such terms merely state or describe the problem. They do not answer it. The acceptance of sickness as a decision of the mind for a purpose for which it would use the body is the basis of healing. And this is so for healing in all forms. A patient decides that this is so and she recovers. If she decides against recovery, she will not be healed. Who is the physician? Only the mind of the patient herself. The outcome is what she decides that it is. Special agents seem to be ministering to her, yet they but give form to her own choice. She chooses them in order to bring tangible form to her desires, and it is this they do, and nothing else. They are not actually needed at all. The patient could merely rise up without their aid and say, "I have no use for this." There is no form of sickness that would not be cured at once. What is the single requisite for the shift in perception? It is simply this: the recognition that sickness is of the mind and has nothing to do with the body. What does this recognition cost? It costs the whole world you see. For the world will never again appear to rule the mind. For with this recognition is responsibility placed where it belongs, not with the world, but on her who looks on the world and sees it as it is not. She looks on what she chooses to see, no more and no less. The world does nothing to her. She only thought it did. Nor does she do anything to the world, because she was mistaken about what it is. Herein is the release from guilt and sickness both, for they are one. Yet to accept this release, the insignificance of the body must be an acceptable idea. With this idea is pain forever gone, but with this idea goes also the confusion about creation. Does not this follow of necessity? Place cause and effect in their true sequence in one respect, and the learning will generalize and transform the world. The transfer value of one true idea has no end or limit. The final outcome of this lesson is the remembrance of God. What do guilt and sickness, pain, disaster, and all suffering mean now? Having no purpose, they are gone, and with them also go all the effects they seem to cause. Cause and effect but replicate creation. Seen in their proper perspective, without distortion and without fear, they reestablish heaven. Once again, this entire passage is seen in the light of the premise that everything that we think of as reality is a dream that we are dreaming. It comes from our mind, and therefore we choose to dream it. In the same way, we choose to have any dream that we have in our nighttime sleep. And the ones that we have in our nighttime sleep, we would say come from our subconscious mind because we're not aware of choosing it at all. And yet it still comes from us. We can't point at some other source for those dreams. It's just that there's so much of us that we are not at this moment conscious of. And the Course is inviting us to expand the light of our awareness into those dark corners of what we call the subconscious or unconscious mind, and there find the machinations for what we think of as reality. So, in what we think of as reality, we blame the body for having symptoms or limitations, the same way we look at the body as having instincts or reflexes, or perhaps, dare I say, even appetites, desires, preferences. Do we think of our nighttime dreams as coming from our body? We admit that those come from our mind, albeit a part of our mind that we don't seem to have access to, at least not direct access. In hypnotism, we appear to be given the key to that locked door. We have stated in today's passage that the only physician in reality beyond all the illusions is the one who is sick. They are the only one who can decide if they are willing to accept the supposed cost of being healed. And what is the cost? This passage today tells us what it is. It's that we can no longer see what we thought of as reality. It becomes clear that it is a dream that we are dreaming, that it is an illusion. We are trying to protect ourselves from seeing that. Early on, the Course warns us that spontaneous healing that is the miracle can cause panic in the one being healed because of the implications of that miracle, of that healing. It's easy for us to sit here and have wishful thinking about being healed when we are still believing it's impossible because we're doing it to ourselves. If we take full responsibility that everything, absolutely everything we experience, we are doing to ourselves, well, that's what it takes. We have to take responsibility for that in order to be healed. In the passage, it says that our recognition that everything that we see, perceive, that we think of as happening to us is our responsibility. There away goes both sickness and guilt, for they are one and the same. And here's the kicker. Since we are one, this also includes what we perceive as happening to others and the sickness and guilt of others. This is how we heal one another, when we recognize the responsibility of our own thoughts. This passage then speaks of the generalization of one idea truly and fully grasped as generalizing and transferring to every situation, every time and place, and healing absolutely everything. This seems to be the perfect mirror reflection of how earlier in the Course it says that we cannot control the split in our mind. Any one place where the split exists, and that split spreads to absolutely everything. Again, they are one and the same. They are two sides of the same coin. Today is our last day to review what is the Christ. Tomorrow we have a new open-ended question that will go with the next 10 lessons. And then we go on to lesson 280. What limits can I lay upon God's child? Whom God created limitless is free. I can invent imprisonment for her, but only in illusions, not in truth. No thought of God has left its mother's mind. No thought of God is limited at all. No thought of God, but is forever pure. Can I lay limits on the child of God, whose mother willed that she be limitless and like herself in freedom and in love? Today let me give honor to your child, for thus alone I find the way to you. Mother, I lay no limits on the child you love and you created limitless. The honor that I give to her is yours, and what is yours belongs to me as well. I love how some of these later lessons transfer. In the early lessons, we are told of our own holiness and innocence, which feels nice to the ego. But of course, because we're one, anything that applies to us applies equally to every part of the creation. And some of these later lessons are showing us that we are thinking of it the other way. We first apply it to our sister and to all of the creation, and by doing so, we see that it also includes us. And that's our lesson for the day. Happy practicing!